Hello, everyone, and welcome to Moonride. This is Dave Johnson, and today's session is going to be trance channeling. I just got to ask Spirit what the next couple of years hold in store for us as we move into the next stage of the new Earth. Let's take a look. Okay, I'm seeing a collective. I've sort of climbed some stairs and then hit a landing and then climb more stairs. There's a group of beings. They sometimes look like aliens, and sometimes they just look like light beings. And there's several of them assembling around me. I think it looks like eight. They're standing in the shape of an eye. So I kind of feel like I'm going into an eye. Hmm. Looks like they're choosing a spokesman, or should I say spokes being? Hmm. One of them is showing me a saxophone, and it's like they're kind of the lead of the group. And they're pressing those levers that a saxophone plays with. It's like we're exchanging sort of energy here. Okay. And my guides are, making sure this is all okay. Okay, I'm being told his name or her name is Akra. I've met Akra before while working with the V group. Okay. Many images, it's sort of like layers of consciousness, geometric shapes, the curve of a planet. He's just sort of drawing me out a little bit further into the universe. All right. What would you have me do next? It's like I'm in a sort of like a living room in the universe, you know, having a conversation over coffee. It's sort of like that. Just getting to know each other, making sure we're all on the same page. Okay, Akra, I'm ready. You can take my body, and I think it's Arca, not Akra. Yeah, Arca. Okay, Arca. This is indeed a council of eight beings, light beings. All right. We would just like to know what advice you can offer us for the shift that continues to the new earth. Good people of Earth, it is important to notice that you have succeeded in defeating some forces of darkness, baseness, which have attempted to control you through your media and your political powers. It is very important that you all take a moment now and acknowledge the win, acknowledge what has happened. I notice that the fear factors have been greatly reduced. The shrill necessity to tell everyone your opinion has become sublimated to other adventures. This is a very good thing. You should take credit for your own transformations in this, shall we call it, life experience. This was something predestined, and you have lived up to it if you are watching this video. You have gone beyond yourselves. This is very important because it is setting the stage for you to keep going beyond yourselves. It is setting a stage for you to go into a very rich world of what you might call telepathy or intuition. This world is able to occur now for you beyond the drugs and stimulants that existed some time ago, which may, in some sense, have inspired some of the work you are doing. That is, the cultural shift that occurred in the 1960s was to some degree inspired by some forms of intoxicants. This time around, intoxicants are not at all necessary, nor are they useful. You will be able to move forward and see yourself in a completely new way. This is our advice. Notice the self transformation first. Beyond the political ramifications, there's the transformation of yourselves, a beautiful transformation. You are not well recognizing this transformation. That is, you are not necessarily giving yourselves the credit that you deserve. Think of this as a plant or a flower which you have tended for some time. Now it has come to fruition. Enjoy it. Enjoy the flower. Take a bit of time to compliment yourself for being stable enough, true enough, honest with yourself enough to move forward in a difficult time and to still maintain your love for another. Again, we ask you in this moment, take the time to compliment yourself on what you have learned. Stop dwelling on the mistakes or the inadequacies. They were just necessary. This is going to be a template for you moving forward. That is, there's a relationship with yourself and relationship with the outer world, as well as a relationship to the spirit world. All of these things are taking place right now. Some are dramatic changes. They happen in such a way as to be much like the pyramid, the triangle we have often discussed in the intuitive space. This interaction can be a bit confusing. However, when the three parts work well together, they can bring forth dramatic changes. This is what is occurring. This dramatic change is only beginning now. It will indeed continue. Indeed, there will be other problems as we move forward, some involving practical matters like the state of the earth and the changes occurring on the planet. This is again a template for how these three factors work: yourself, spirit, and the political and social situations, in fact, the others that surround you. Keep in mind the self, the original self. This is something over which you have a good deal of control. You can learn more about who you are. You can continue to become. You can continue to interact with those two worlds, with yourself in the driver's seat, if you will. Remember, there are some things which you can directly control, others which you stand in relationship to. This is extremely important. Notice the difference. Don't blame yourself for factors outside of yourself. Don't become enraged by factors outside of yourself. Instead, ask the question, what is there for me to learn? This is a space in which you can evolve, intensely evolve. And this is all that is occurring. The factors outside yourself are just those things inspiring you to move forward with equanimity. There will be other battles. We refuse to tell you those battles now, for it will not be productive to have you worry about the future. What will be useful, however, is to help you notice your successes so that you can expand upon them. The greatest success is occurring inside yourself as you learn and you expand and you interact with those factors, more holding yourself in the driver's seat. That is, notice. At some points, it was very easy to become very emotional and reactionary, involving the social and political situation around you. However, sometimes that emotion made you lose control of your own self. It is important to notice this. Sometimes all of us are able to take in the information and to remain calm. Sometimes we get distracted by the information and presume we are merely being affected instead of noticing how we are being effective and using that energy, that awareness, and that understanding to expand. Everybody is capable of this expansion. Some people are still choosing not to expand. This will be to their demise. If you do look at the social and political situation, you will notice that some who refused to see the truth are walking down the paths of their own demise. Some of it does not appear dramatic or dramatic enough to fulfill your desires for justice. However, this process is occurring. It is occurring in a slow enough fashion so that some of those who have gone the wrong direction can still see their error and redeem themselves. Give them time to do this. The fact that some are taking their time does not undermine your success. Notice, just notice. This is the most important thing for you now as you move into the next wave of the new earth. This process will still take some time. The initial bump, however, has been completed. It is now that you prepare for the next steps. Again, we don't want you to be fearful. We do not want you to be in waiting for the disaster. We want you to notice what you have done well so that you can continue to do this. It is also helpful to notice when you have gotten off track so that you can correct in the next phase. Understand, all of this is about self learning. Every problem, every action, everything is about you and your awareness and creating yourself into the future. This is not some form of punishment. It is a school. Earth is a school where people learn. It is useful if you believe in something beyond the earth, because then you can see beyond the problems and see how you are evolving. Everyone is evolving. It is just a question of degrees. Even those who are dwelling in delusion are eventually going to learn about their delusion. It may not be in this lifetime, it may not be in the next lifetime, but it will be. And remember that time is really not a correct barometer of understanding. Time goes on sort of forever in a circle. This is beyond human comprehension, but it is useful to know that patience is required, patience for yourself and patience for others. Do not get trapped in judging others. This is indeed a trap. For if you look at your own actions, you can see that sometimes you have made errors. If you look at the obsession that some people have with online disinformation, it may be wise to look at your own attentions that you are giving to the media and ask yourself, is it too much? Am I in control of this media, or will I allow this media to control me? Am I in control of my political agenda, or doesn't a political agenda control me? Whenever you see someone going down the wrong path, consider that a lesson that the universe has given to you. You can see their mistakes and learn from it. Be glad that you are not the one that is localized in delusion. You can move forward in a beautiful way. It is also worth noting that as you move forward, doing things which benefit yourself personally is very useful for the universe. Consider yourself a part of the universe, and as you move forward, you are benefiting yourself in some way. This obviously has its limits. If you are benefiting yourself at the expense of others, if there is not a fair exchange, then you are limiting your capacities. If you are able to see the world as it is and benefit yourself without harming others, you are indeed doing Spirit's work. You are giving yourself more free time, more space to understand yourself in the universe, and more space to move forward. This is what the universe wishes you to do, to expand in consciousness as particles of that universe, so that you can come back with knowledge. There are many ways to do this. Do not hesitate, however, to look at the landscape around you and ask yourself, how can I practically benefit from what is going on? Can I do this without harming another? If you can find such a space, you can find a good deal of happiness and peace on this earth. This is a great challenge for you. But if you are here on this planet, you are learning from this challenge. Make it a welcome challenge. Make it such that yourself is like a loading dock for good ideas, for happy moments, for opportunities to help one another, and opportunities to help all consciousness around you. This is the way forward for the next 2 years. Again, we ask that you rejoice as you face the problems that you will inevitably face from whenever they come. Notice that you have succeeded. You have moved forward in consciousness. You are as you are, full of flaws and learning, etc. You are a beautiful being, an irreplaceable portion of the universe. Without you, the universe would not be complete. Take some time to rejoice, either in nature or on your own meditating someplace. Do something for yourself that reminds yourself of the great success that you are living here in this incredibly inspiring and difficult time. Now is the time to rejoice for the opportunity and also for the self that you are learning, growing, and becoming. We will sign off now. Okay, everyone. Thanks so much for watching. I have changed things on my website. Presently, I am offering things like group shamanic journeys. The description is on the website. I am also offering direct trance channeling. Take a look. If you got any questions, don't hesitate to write me at moodride.com.au. Thanks again for watching.